I just know it's going to be outlandish.
Welcome to episode 8 of the Banter Boyz podcast. And 2468, who do we appreciate? Gunners, Arsenal. Go Arsenal.
Shut the fuck up.
You appreciate Banter Boyz or something. Jesus.
Yeah, our loyal subscribers. All 13 of them.
Me.
Doing good.
Who do we think is since there's only 3 clubs that are between us in terms of representation? Kyle, you and I, Arsenal. Jip is City, and Nikos is Chelsea. God bless them. Who do you think, as a fan, should be the most nervous at this point in the middle of the off season?
Arsenal. Easily.
Arsenal.
Easily.
You guys have the most to lose.
Seriously, Manchester City won 4 titles in a row. In that 4 title span, they won a treble. They won the Champions League. Chelsea just won the Club World Cup. They won a European trophy. They have won the Champions League. Arsenal's the only one in the last 20 years who's been incredibly quiet. You guys have won the FA Cup. You've won the Carabao Cup. Every time we talk about winning those trophies, you guys say, well, those trophies don't count. You didn't win the league. You didn't win the Champions League. Well, when the fuck was the last time you did? 20 years ago. So, yeah, Arsenal are the ones that need to be the most concerned.
I think
it's not close.
I think we're the most concerned because City has did a real quick rebuild of the midfield, which was aging. They've rebuilt that in a January and a summer window. Liverpool has strengthened. Chelsea have been kind of finding the groove. You know, they brought in another 30 players, so they got to figure out where these people are going to go. And they're getting a groove. Arsenal are still missing those few pieces. Like they still haven't gotten the striker over the line. We still need a left wing or attacking mid, that an Eze or somebody like that could do that, or an Eze and another winger. So we still need some pieces to finish our 5-year rebuild. So that's where I would say it's us.
5. It's been 20. It's been 20 years.
I think
it's a 20-year rebuild. It's the longest rebuild I've ever seen. They're building buildings and collapsing them in China faster than them. It's incredible.
I was going to say, I 100% would say, if I'm a Chelsea fan, per usual, I'm going into the year being like, I don't know what to make of this.
Can I ask why you say that?
Yes, because we've at least been heading in a progressive upward direction. Chelsea can't figure out their direction. They sign 20 people, they figure out who they need to dump. They're still trying to find out answers. Yes, you want to point to your cute little Conference League trophy that we would have stomped on you on, and beating
Where's the crown? Where's the crown?
But Wes, I know what you're saying, but that Chelsea have figured out that is what they're doing. They got new owners in who.
What they're doing is,
by
not
the way,
working,
previously they bought a ton of players before. It's not working, dude. They were a mid-table team, and now all of a sudden they're top 4. They did it right. They bought a bunch of players.
Because you had
spread the cost of players out over time, so they could get a bunch of players under FFP. And then what they're doing is the players that fit, they're going to keep. The players that don't fit, ship them out. Ship them out. You know what this is? You know what this is from? You ever seen this? You grow up watching this? The Never-Ending Story? This is Arsenal's rebuild.
Did you print this?
This is the Never-Ending Story. It's Arsenal's rebuild.
What that does look like?
When are Arsenal gonna produce? When are they gonna win a trophy? Besides the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, which don't count every time Manchester City wins it. When's Arsenal gonna do something?
Now,
first off, your photo looks like an oil field.
Now I think
it's the Never-Ending Story, Wes. Get some culture.
It's a great movie.
I think the issue with this one is I think Arsenal should be more nervous because of the lack of success that's happened in the last few years. One, that's a guaranteed. You guys need to get a title or something under your belt to get everyone kind of riled up and be like, okay, look what we've done. But also, the amount of shit that's being talked every offseason, every season, that's not being backed up, nothing's being produced. It's just you guys have this every single year. It's like, yeah, we're the top dogs, we're We're that team. And I think at this point, if you guys don't do it this year, shit's gonna hit the fan. And I think players are gonna leave, coaches might get fired. We're gonna see a lot of change if this isn't the year that you guys take home anything big.
You can't win
Kyle,
the
you
league in August.
understand that, Kyle, all they do is they talk about the things that they hope happens. They hope it happens. Here's my point with what the question was framed from. It's not that be all, because time has to play out and how the season plays out is important. But you go to any legitimate betting or odds or Vegas odds type sites, Arsenal are right behind Liverpool in terms of favorites. Meaning that's what I'm saying. I'd be more concerned as definitely a Chelsea fan. I still feel like they don't have an identity. And then City is like, supposedly this guy in this Discord chat says that he's in a rebuild, which is just a fluff to make himself feel good when he realizes that, again, you spend more than 150 in January to just scrape by to get into Champions League and still finish behind Arsenal. So that's why I'm not nervous at all. And that's just where the question was coming from. If I'm City, I'm like, we got a couple signings. Again, if I'm Chelsea, I don't know the identity of the club. It just feels like it's a bunch of guys that just showed up this morning, and it's like, all right, which one of you wants to play on this?
How could you even say
this
that?
The
field?
lack of ball knowledge. The ball knowledge is
Okay, to be fair, we have so many players that we had to rebuild. Yes, we rebuilt our team a few years ago. I think that's not surprising to anyone. We got sanctioned, we had to rebuild, we got a new owner, we spent some money, and we rebuilt our whole team. Now, in that project, we have Enzo already for a few years. We've had Cole Palmer for a few years already. We've had Reece James since he was a child. We have had Colwell. We've had all of these defenders that we've had for years now. So I don't know why you can come in and say like, every year, new team. They signed 30 people. We've had a core team for at least a few years now with Caicedo and Enzo, and sure, we've got some people out the door. Like we picked up Sterling, he's out the door. We picked up Yao Felix, and we don't know what he's doing. But you guys can't act like you guys haven't picked up players and not worked out. Sterling is a perfect example for you guys.
Sterling was a bench warmer, is truly what that is. That was to make sure we didn't have another U15 sitting on our regular bench in a Premier League game in March.
Why didn't you guys go get a kid from Brazil for 16 million and have him go behind instead of picking up Manchester City scraps?
Because we did it for 3 million, and his name is Martinelli, and we did it a few years ago.
I will say that I think Arsenal have the most pressure because we've been so close and haven't gotten over the line, that we are a little bit of a pressure cooker here. We have to do this soon. I don't necessarily think like how the other two feel, like, oh, if they don't do it, like, yeah, if we finish 8th, then yeah, he's gonna get fired. Like if we have an absolute horrid season, and you know what I mean, then yeah, he's gonna go. But if we finish 2nd and we lose on the last match day, the league, no, he's not gonna get fired. That's not gonna happen. So I think we have the most pressure to get the job done. I think number 2 is actually Chelsea. I think Chelsea have to make a push for the league. They have to be in the race until at least Christmas. I think because they just won 2 trophies, because they've spent all this money, because they finally now have this core team that Nikos was just talking about, where the spine of the team is there. You now have to take that.
And just to interject, they've been on the way up. They've been on the way up too.
So they now need to take the next step. They can't just be, oh, we're getting top 4, we're getting top 4. You don't want to, get in. So you want to see them. They need to take that step up this year. City, I think, are under the least amount of pressure because it feels like they're on like the Michael Jordan last ride here. We know that Pep is leaving at some point here. Let's just see if we could do it again. Hey, we couldn't do it. All right, let's see if Pep's going to do one more year. Hey,
He's
let's
laying
see
the
if we can do
groundwork
it again. Yeah,
he's
like,
laying the
let's just
groundwork
see.
for when he's on the way out. Because if you look at their signings, it's been young guys: Juma Ba, Vitor Heiss, Kusanov, Cherokee. They're all young.
Yeah,
Like he's building the base for whoever's next, and who's next, nobody really knows.
yeah.
Is it Enrique? Is it does company come home? Like who's the guy? Nobody knows.
We should make that an
And
episode of everybody
Liver
pick one person.
Liverpool's under more pressure than City. They just won the league, but how much money are they spending this offseason?
Yeah, I would actually say
They're
Liverpool are the
approaching
most.
300 million.
Yeah,
Like
I think
it's the only thing I disagree with you on is I think Chelsea is underneath Liverpool.
Oh, I think
Liverpool have to go back to back, or else this summer's a failure.
Liverpool are at the highest because they've spent an unbelievable amount of. They've spent more money now in 1 year than Arteta spent in his first 3 years. And if you look at his club 3 years ago, you'd be like, okay, if somebody needs to spend $2 billion, it's that team. That team is trash. So they've spent a crazy amount of money, and they're not done. It's not like, okay, they've said, you know how like City sometimes will do a bunch of business early, and then like halfway through the summer, it's City are done. We might try to sell a couple guys, loan out some youth, but they're kind of like done in a sense. Like that hasn't happened.
They go get their guys. It's smart.
I think it's probably Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City for who's under the most pressure this season.
Liverpool was self-inflicted, though, I think more than anything else, just due to the fact that they're signing people at a clip, and by clip I mean a fee amount that is like, if you don't repeat, it's a failure.
Yeah. To do it all in one summer.
They just bought the French Darwin Nunez.
Yeah.
And
that brings us on to the news of what's been happening. And JP, you just said it. Liverpool did it again.
They bought the Darwin regen.
Yeah. Before even getting
they bought
rid
a guy
of Darwin.
who scored some goals. But
yeah, I saw a tweet that said Eddie Nketiah have scored more senior goals, like not obviously above under 21, than he did. And I was like, there's no way. And yeah, Eddie Nketiah scored more goals than him, which is crazy because he's not good.
How many games in comparison?
They're very close in the similar game. Eddie's 3 years older.
Also, where did you read this?
It's on Transfer Market. I got it right here.
What Gooner's Twitter account were you reading?
No.
I goon.
No, Eddie's
I
at
goon
50.
daily.
Eddie's at 50 senior goals, and Eddie Nketiah, and then Hugo is at 41. So it's 41 to 50.
It doesn't include games played.
No, but I could find that.
If I'm the owner of Frankfurt, I am giving 10% of the entire commission that or of the entire transfer fee to the sporting director or whoever negotiated this deal, because 95 million's nuts.
It almost seemed rushed and a little panicked. I think.
Yes.
I think they just solely wanted to steal it from Newcastle, which seems kind of absurd because I don't think Newcastle was going to pay that much. But Liverpool just went ahead and dropped the hammer and were like, yeah, we're going to do anything to get him. So I feel like they know something that we don't when it comes to the striker spot, because it seemed a little desperate to me.
It did. I mean, like, he's young. He is good. He's a good player.
Yeah.
But when we were watching Darwin, I said, when Liverpool signed Darwin, I said, that's a great deal. He's really good. And it's a good thing I'm not a sporting director and I'm a guy talking on a podcast.
When I saw Nicholas Jackson get signed and play one preseason, I was like, this guy's good. This guy.
Let me tell you.
I'll talk about how good of it is, but I'm not the one making the $90 million mistake. Ekitike is good, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
a ton of money.
It's huge for having one good season. Like, it's not like he's been trending up and he's been talked about. Like, Sesko's going for that money because he's been talked about for 3 years. He's had, like, getting a little bit better, getting a little bit better, getting a little bit better. Like, year before, like last year, you take away last year, yeah, not great for him. Because last year he had, 15 goals, 8 assists. And the year before that, he had 4 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's not
Yeah, like
too
even
great.
the year
And also,
before that, it was
he's
League One at PSG, 3 goals, 4
yeah,
assists.
he's also not as young as it. Like he's 23, which yeah, sure he's young, but like compared to a lot of these players that are coming out at like 18, 19, 20, you're like, oh wow. Like I
Yeah,
don't know. It's hard to tell, but yeah, he had an okay season last year, but nothing remarkable.
not 90 million. Not a
No.
He needs
90
to
million season.
score 25 league goals to make his evaluation worth it.
Yeah.
Well,
How much?
I mean, yes and no. He needs to score 25 league goals at some point during this current contract because
Yeah.
he's 23. He is
Yeah,
young.
he is young. Yeah. But
I mean, like Holland was 50, but that's because that was his buyout, right?
Yeah.
Like that's steal.
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
different.
Eintracht is just good at doing business, but for 15 goals, a team that finished in third place, it's a lot. It's definitely a
Yeah,
lot.
and it's the Bundesliga, you know what I mean?
And it's the Bundesliga, so I
Yeah.
mean, it'll definitely be interesting. I mean, to be fair, with all of the players that you're giving on Liverpool, that team, if you can't get a few tap-ins with those wingers, with those
Yeah.
wingbacks, with that team coming at you,
With that
then
midfield, yeah.
you could be the most average striker and probably slot 10 goals alone just on tap-ins, just on Salah
How
driving
many
down the
goals
line.
How many goals does Nico Jackson score if he played for Liverpool next season?
4.
I'd say 5. I'd give him respect for 5.
So the thing I don't like about Ekatike is he's a big one of these guys. He's a big one of these.
Yeah.
Like he
Little
expects
bit
the
of
ball at his feet every time he's in the box. And anytime the ball doesn't get to him, it's I stop running.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
what I don't
This
like. I
might
don't like those players.
So this might be a wild take, but I'm trying to still just make sense of this fee. I'm starting to wonder if Ekatike has a sex tape of Arne Slot, and he just like for some reason is like not releasing it
You know what, Wes? That's
they
a
just
great
paid him
transfer.
95 million.
This is just ransom.
That's a great pivot to my next conversation I wanted to ask you guys. I don't know if anybody has seen this on Twitter. It is like the Liverpool conspiracy that for whatever reason, news outlets are like, they won't say anything bad about Liverpool, specifically with like transfers and stuff. Everybody else that has done a deal this summer, when Sky Sports or one of the major people talk about it, they will say, whatever. This player went for 50 million including add-ons. This player went for 100 million including add-ons. This player went, so always giving the total package. Whenever Liverpool signs anybody, they say, "Oh, Warts went for 100 plus 25 million in add-ons. He went for 79 plus 10 million in add-ons." They always do the add-ons separate to make it look like it's a cheaper deal. And a bunch of fans are starting to notice it and they're getting pissed. They're like, "This is
Because
crazy."
they don't want to walk alone.
I have to excuse myself from this portion because Sky Sports hates Manchester City. I have illegally streamed Sky Sports, playing a Manchester City match when I didn't want to pay for Peacock, and I listened to the commentary, and I turned off the match because Sky Sports hates Manchester City with a passion. So I cannot give you any input on this discussion.
Have you seen
Everyone
any of
else.
those? Have you seen any of those tweets? Even I guess they compared. Sky Sports put out a thing. I think I have it. They compared Isak versus Hugo Atike, but they didn't include goals in the comparison, so they looked like they were the same player.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know if you saw it. It was games 34 to 33, shots on target 46 to 48, assists 6 to 8, big chances 11 to 12, dribbles 42 to 52. Where's goals? Why are you conveniently leaving out goals?
Do you think were they always talked about before? Like, do you think this is like the championship kind of tax that like everyone kind of speaks highly of them because they're the champion, or like was it even before?
I think people have said that it's like always before. Like every time,
Okay.
Liverpool seems to be the golden goose for like Sky Sports. I don't know if anybody has seen. I obviously follow a lot
Is
of
Sky
Arsenal
Sports house? Are this house?
accounts. That was really good.
Is this Sky Sports?
I don't know if anybody saw that. It was pretty interesting. People were talking about it the last few days.
Yeah.
I have not seen it, but like JP, I'm gonna have to excuse myself because the refs absolutely hate Arsenal, so I can't comment.
Shut the fuck up.
How did that have to do with anything we were talking about? I'm just
I
so
just had to
confused.
excuse myself.
The refs hate Arsenal. No, it's just when Arsenal does stupid shit over and over again, they're gonna get treated like they do stupid shit over and over again.
You see that media outlet thing that was just posted? No, but the refs do. The refs hate Arsenal. I mean, like, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. It's stupid. Stupid.
Can I actually touch on Gyökeres really quick?
Yeah.
Oh, Gyökeres?
So I just basically want to say I'm not worried, concerned. There's no saga. The only saga is the people that don't want it to happen.
It's not a saga. It's a story.
Whatever paints the picture to our backs, because that's all you're looking at since you're finishing behind us again.
I'll
Anyways,
finish behind you any day.
Yeah, okay.
Wes, continue.
Pause.
So I'm not worried. I told this to Kyle and some of the Arsenal guys today. Like, there really is no concern over the Gyökeres thing because there's a lot of stuff going on with Sporting going after a striker. I forgot to check on it. I think it's a Brazilian Luis Suarez or
Yeah,
something.
it's a Luis Suarez.
It's not the Luis Suarez that we know, but it's a different one. And they're trying to make a deal for him. So the further that progresses, the more just better it is. It's really Sporting trying to make their hole filled before they make themselves into a hole. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried. It's gonna happen. I'm not worried in the slightest. If anything, I'm
I
kind of
recall-
laughing at the fact that everyone else is like, "Oh my god, it's not gonna happen." I'm like, "That's okay."
If I recall, last episode you said that and we filmed last Monday, that if this deal isn't signed by tomorrow, then something's going on. You said something about this deal is going to be done tomorrow and it better be done. And here we are a week later and the deal's not done.
Well, the something going on is they're filling their striker role, which makes complete sense. So again, not worried in the slightest. It's a bigger story for non-Arsenal fans than it is for Arsenal fans, and that will tell you something.
Yeah, it's definitely the Sporting CP director trying to get more money, because they want the add-ons. They want 10 million in add-ons. They want 2.5 million for Champions League or Premier League, and then they want the other 4 to be appearance based, which basically become automatic. They want like 20 games, 40 games, 60 games, 80 games, which that's not what people do. Usually there's like one bonus that's like an appearance one that's like, hey, that's basically guaranteed. But then it's usually for golden boot, goals, it's those things. So it's like it's up to the player to kind of earn them and not become automatic. And it's definitely them doing it because they have 25% sell-on clauses included in this deal, like that go to other teams, so they're losing out on a quarter of it right there. They also gave him a gentleman's agreement to be lower because without that gentleman's agreement, he'd obviously would have went for more than Hugo went for. He would have went for more than Sesko. He scored the most goals last year, so that would have been huge.
Do you think he's looking at this and saying, "I need to get paid more"?
No, because he already agreed to the deal with Arsenal and said I'm only going to Arsenal. Even like United has tried to come back in today, and he's like,
Was it
no.
written on paper?
Huh?
Was it written and signed on paper? Do you think he saw that Ekatike got paid 90-something million, and he's like, I'm better than him. Why am I not get paid nearly enough?
I don't think Gyökeres cares about his transfer fee. If you've read any of the legitimate reports, he just wants to play for the best club in Europe. So
Now, is that coming from the news outlet of Wesley's brain, or is that coming from
That's
like
from
Fabrizio.
Fabrizio. He said he only wants to play for
Sure.
Arsenal.
Sure.
It's the
It
never-ending
is.
story.
It honestly,
The never-ending story.
not only is it the never-ending story, it's not that like I'm not nervous of it not going through. It seems like it's going to go through, but the buzz of him signing, it's already gone.
Yeah.
If tomorrow we get a here we
Totally.
go, it's like yay, it's finally done. But there
It's
isn't like
More
the
relief. It's more relief at that point.
yeah,
It's
but
like you guys
it's
can finally breathe.
it's not the boom, we put in a bid, boom, it got accepted. Holy shit, here we go. We just got a striker in 3 days. Oh my god, I can't believe it. No, this is a 2-year saga of chasing this dude.
I think it's been 8 weeks. I mean, we started this podcast probably 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure on our first episode we talked about this. You know, it's
Yeah.
been 8 weeks just on the podcast of us talking
Yeah,
about it every single
yeah.
episode. No, we haven't.
this has only been like past 3 weeks of like, oh, it's definitely.
It's
lining
been
up
3
to be
weeks of
tomorrow.
the 4 was which
For a
one are we gonna go
while,
for?
we were linked with Sesko, who personally I preferred, but we'll see what comes of Gyökeres.
I guess you have to settle.
I'm not nervous until August 1st if this doesn't go through.
Oh, okay, cool. So same time next
So-
week.
so 10 days.
2 weeks.
10 days.
I also
At the end
think
of the
that
day,
we're not.
at the end of the
we're
day, it
not
just proves that
done.
Kroenke cares more about his other teams.
I did see a post today that
Then he
the
cares about Arsenal.
Kroenkes want Arsenal to be self-sustaining and to have no owner-infused cash. They want them to be a self-sustaining entity where, let's say we have 100 million in profit, we now have 100 million to spend that summer. I did see that
That's-
today.
That's
Do we think
shitty.
Manchester
Yeah.
City is done making signings?
No.
It feels like
No.
they are.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, the latest is James Trafford's coming home. That's the latest. He's the Ederson replacement.
And that's gonna improve you where and how.
In the goalkeeper position.
yeah.
Are you
Well,
fucking crazy?
You should have even told him what position he was.
I know. I should have asked what position he plays. James Trafford led the U21s to, I think,
I understand.
tournament?
I understand.
I don't
what
think they
he
had a
did.
goal scored against them.
I
So
understand
Trafford
who
has a
and what-
$40 million buyback clause, but Manchester City also has a 20% sell-on clause in his contract. So right now what they're working on is basically they're saying, hey, Newcastle made an offer for, I think it was 35. Why are we going to pay you the buyback clause when there's a 20% sell-on clause and you're going to make less? So let's come to terms with a deal better than 40 because you got to sell them for 48 if you're going to make 40 million on them.
How are we going to discredit a
Burnley.
goalkeeper? I mean, he literally lit up.
I'm
Burnley
not
last
discrediting.
year.
I'm just saying it's not.
He almost brought JJ Watt out of retirement.
He
It's
literally lit up the championship last year.
Kyle,
Like,
suddenly James Trafford's going to win the Ballon d'Or next year somehow.
I do have a question. Did you see
Did I say that? Nikos, did you say that? Did we say
no,
that?
but
James
how do you
Trafford
not
won the
think
Ballon
that a
d'Or?
goalkeeper is one of the most important positions on the field?
I just don't think going from an average Ederson to a young, maybe exciting because he's young, Trafford is like the difference on getting you from
Okay.
third to second place.
Let's take
We're in a
let's-
rebuild, Wes. I'm not concerned about getting from third to second place.
Let's take a trip back a year or two ago, a few
Rebuild.
years back. Let's take
It's
a
a
trip.
rebuild.
Let's take a trip back a few years, or we can even look at PSG now. Do you think PSG would be as successful, or Italy would be as successful without Donnarumma?
They wouldn't have knocked Arsenal out.
Donnarumma
I
literally
think
is the
Donnarumma is the best goalkeeper in the world right now.
Okay, so do you think that they won half of their games because of the goalkeeper, because of Donnarumma?
I can't speak to the exact number of what I think.
You're gonna
them
you
the
can just
games,
say yes
but-
because you know it is. Donnarumma won the player of the tournament for the 20 whatever euros for Italy. Like that
Is
guy,
Manchester City signing Donnarumma?
who knows how good this guy's gonna be? But if you have a young goalkeeper that literally had how many shutouts last year? Like an absurd streak.
Was he Burnley?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
whole
you're
thing
probably
was
right.
Burnley was pretty good, actually. Boop, boop, boop.
I saw the JJ Watt stuff. Yeah, that's how good this guy is. He literally lit up a storm with Burnley and JJ Watt, and they had this whole thing where if he gets 2 more clean sheets, he's coming out of retirement. Like he had like 15 in
that.
a
He had
row.
yeah, it was stupid. He had double-digit clean sheets in a row. JJ Watt was sweating on the Pat McAfee show.
He did. Did anybody see the report that Ortega said that he wants to be the number 1 if Ederson leaves, though?
I did see that, and I love that. I love that Ortega wants to be the one. And going into the season, if Ederson leaves, he should be the one, especially after he saved that Heung-min Son goal that won Manchester City the title.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a competition.
I don't think Son tried to score that, but continue.
But no, for real, like Ortega has been there, and when he's made his appearances, he's done well. When Ederson was out, when he was taken out against Spurs, when Romero came in and knocked him out in the middle of the match, Ortega came in, saved the goal, won us the title. Ortega has every right to make that claim, but that's what you want within a club. You want competition at every position. So, yeah, Ortega should be going in there saying, hey, I'm the number 1, and I'm going to prove it. Not I'm the number 1 and it's being given to me. It's I'm the number 1 and I'm going to prove it, even though they just paid 35 or whatever they agreed to on Trafford. Yeah, like that's what you expect. People forget Ortega came on a free. He was free.
So it's basically Trafford, and then your business is done.
Trafford, then I don't know. I mean, it sounds like Ederson, Akanji, and Gundo may all be going to Galatasaray, which we do need to clear up space. But I mean, there still might be room for a right back. I know I'm high on Nunez. I think Mateus has done a good job filling that role, but like they were looking at a Livramento. Well, now they finally said we're out on Livramento. We're not paying for him. He's not the guy. Sounds like Wesley, who's the guy that I wanted. He's going to Roma. So who's the right back? I don't know. Like it may be Mateus. And like I'm saying, that like we're in a rebuild. De Bruyne's gone. Gundo's on the way out. Bernardo's got slow legs nowadays. I mean, our front line is young. We just brought in a new left back. We brought in the guys who were going to replace our center backs in Kusanov and Heiss. And Juma Ba's still on loan. Claudio Echeverri is going to go out on loan. Trafford coming in. Trafford's young. Like, we're in the midst of a rebuild and we're still top 4. So
Something Arsenal did for
other clubs can only dream of that.
20 years.
We just did that for like 3 years in a row. We got second in a rebuild, but continue.
Okay. Have you guys won a trophy? Will you win a trophy? That's the question.
But you started.
We won 4 in a row.
Yes and yes.
And you didn't win one. You didn't win a trophy last year, and you started your rebuild.
Won the Community Shield. You guys like to count that as a trophy sometimes. Depends on which argument you're cherry picking.
Then we also did that.
You won't ever hear me bragging about a Community Shield.
Yeah. You would say that and then rub chapstick on your face.
I also wouldn't put a fake crown over my head if I beat Fluminense and other teams I could not pronounce.
Says it's a fake
They knocked off the best team in the world. I mean, what? You guys want to use
It was
Champions
a
League as your
Best team in Europe. Best team in Europe.
Congratulated them on beating PSG.
Best team in Europe.
It was a 1-game tournament.
You're right, Nikos. I stand corrected. You guys beat the best team in Europe. And PSG was flying. PSG's midfield is one of the best midfields I have ever seen. Ever. And that's comparing them to Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. Because that was the best midfield I'd ever seen. And looking at PSG's midfield, I don't know. I don't know.
Don't agree with that. But I'm a Chelsea fan, so I will agree with it.
Speaking of awesome players, we meant to do this last episode, but we forgot. Nikos had a good idea. Go around. They pick what is like your favorite player, but they can't play for like your team.
In every position?
No, just like
Oh,
a
no.
favorite, like
Your
like a
all-time
favorite.
your all-time favorite player that never played for your club. And
So
yeah.
I could do mine. Mine is Tim Howard. I remember watching like the World Cup and him having just this sensational World Cup, and I was like, you know what? I love this dude. And I remember playing FIFA, like, oh my god, he plays for Everton. Now I'm gonna start watching Everton. I watched Everton for like 2 years because he was there, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. I love him.
You were so close to being an Everton fan.
I was right there. It was right there. Almost.
JP, what about you?
Zlatan. Hands down, Zlatan. Zlatan is my favorite player of all time. I was lucky enough to go see him when he played for Los Angeles. I saw him when they went to New York Red Bulls. He scored 2 goals and had an assist. I was absolutely shit-faced at that match, cheering on Zlatan. The New York Red Bulls fan hated me because I was in the New York Red Bulls fan section. And it killed me when he went to United. But it was one of those situations where no matter what, like United, they were
Ruined
battling
him.
for top 4, but they weren't, they weren't going to win the league. It was one of those situations where when Zlatan does well, I'm happy because I get a new special card for FIFA. Like literally, I love Zlatan. And then when he left Los Angeles and took out the back page ad in the paper, and it just said Los Angeles, you're welcome. Like there's
Yeah.
there's nobody like him. I will forever love Zlatan.
There's a reason the Ted Lasso show literally made a character and made them like Zlatan because he is that iconic.
When you ask me who's an iconic football player, it's Zlatan.
Yeah.
He is the most iconic of this generation. Messi's
Speaking
the
of
best.
icon, 2026 FIFA cover star. Welcome
Cover
back
star,
to
baby.
FIFA, or sorry,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
EAFC. Zlatan's
Can't
coming
wait.
home.
Can't wait.
Thank God we made that bet that we're all going in no paid except for the first week. Because JP would have been broke.
I said no. I said I'm going no paid.
None?
I
Not even the
have my
first week.
EA Play. I have my EA Play subscription, which
Oh,
gives
so
me some
yeah,
FC points.
we get the
no
what,
paid.
4,600?
1,600 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
No paid except for
Evolutions.
Evolutions. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that I will pay for next year is Evolutions.
I
that
might
we-
have to. I'll be fully transparent. I might have to remove my card from Xbox.
It's
because
an addiction.
It is so bad. It is so bad. So I'm gonna have to do that, but I'm gonna try to stay strong and do it.
My
I'm
student loans would be
also-
gone if I didn't play FIFA.
I'm also doing Ultimate Team this year for FIFA. I'm back in. I took a couple years
Yeah,
out.
you're not going to get transfer banned this year?
No, I'm not gonna get transfer banned when my account gets hacked, so I'm going in.
I think we have to. We might have to stream first day. First day it comes out. Do a live stream. all three
I
of them.
I actually told JP
Kyle Foley's
yesterday,
on paternity leave.
I said I just had my first kid, 5 days old now. So I'm off for 12 weeks. So I told JP, take off the day FIFA comes out. We will live stream the entire day. All three of us.
I'm in.
And we're doing it. We're doing it.
Oh, I'm in.
We're doing a 16-year-old's dream of we're just gonna play FIFA all day with my boys, and we're just gonna talk and laugh.
Oh, in college, I wasn't going to class the day FIFA came out. I was playing FIFA all day.
Yeah.
I'll get the Mountain Dews and the Doritos.
Yeah, Mountain Dew Doritos. But
Now I'm
Nikos,
drinking coffee and eating, healthy food.
I got a granola bar.
Cucumbers.
And
Yeah,
everyone get your yogurts.
yeah. We're gonna yogurt and
All right.
fruit.
Now that we got sidetracked, Wes, who's your guy?
This is gonna be a big surprise. Joshua Kimmich.
Really?
Is it because you guys look similar?
No, but I never thought about
You do kind of look
that.
similar.
You give kind of a Kimmich vibe.
He is probably one of, how do I say this? He's probably the best ratioed player for the press he gets, but actually how good he is. He is one of those silent executors on the field. He's obviously not on the goal sheet, not often even on the assists, but he is the glue of the field, and he's someone that maybe one off season was rumored with Arsenal, and I thought would have been a fantastic pickup, but
He
it
was
didn't
rumored to
happen.
City as
So
well. He was rumored everywhere.
yeah, I would have loved to have seen what he would have done elsewhere besides the Bundesliga.
Not gonna say I'm
So yeah,
genuinely
Joshua Kimmich.
Okay.
what a
Wes,
wild
you
one.
know what?
Yeah, you know, yeah.
I'm. This may be the only time you see me give you a round of applause.
Good night, guys.
You might as well
Good.
honestly go at that point.
Nah,
And
the
everyone,
next topic you're
we
gonna
are
like.
we are accepting Wes's retirement from the Banter Boys podcast on a super wonderful hot take.
He made a good
That
shout.
was a great take.
He
It was a
did
great
something
take. It wasn't
good.
even a hot take. It was a great take. Wes, good job. Congratulations.
Thank
Nikos,
you.
what's
Sometimes
yours?
I do know what I'm
All
talking
right.
about.
I for some reason, growing up, I'm not sure why, but I feel like Premier League wasn't that like relevant when I was younger. Like it just wasn't streamed on TV as much. And the
Yeah.
only league that was streamed for some reason when I had whatever Comcast we had just had the random Italian channel, and it would only stream Serie A. So I grew up watching whatever was on Serie A, and I remember watching Juventus and Pavel Nedved just being the coolest, coldest guy out there. He was just one phenomenal ball player, looked great, long flowing blonde hair, Ballon d'Or winner. Like this guy was just an absolute stud. So when I was younger, I think one of my first favorite teams was Juventus just because of solely him. And then I watched Juventus for a few years, and I think I, discovered Chelsea, and I was like, all right, this is my team. But Pavel Nedved, for some reason, was just like he got me into like watching a player because I want to watch this player play instead of just watching a game. Like I think he truly got me into watching like soccer as much as I do. So Pavel Nedved, super random, but I just something about him. I always thought he was one of the best.
That's a good one. It's a good show. I like it. All right,
Yeah.
our last topic. We might all agree on this one, which might be a first for the Banter Boys podcast. We touched on it a little bit, I think 2 episodes ago. But we want to dedicate a little bit more time to Manchester United.
Yeah, no,
What's wrong at Manchester United?
Ruben Amorim,
Everything.
never gonna
Everything.
win again. Crying in the
Everything.
Stratford End. The Reds are going down. Ruben Amorim, never gonna win again. Crying in the Stratford End. The Reds are going down. He's not the guy. He's the guy for us. He's the guy for all of us.
For
We love
everybody
to
in this
see
room,
Ruben.
we're loving it. Love it.
We love it.
him.
I think
He's not
for
the
me, in a nutshell, I just think something in the sporting directing management type role is what's wrong with the club. If you basically look at their last, I don't know how long you have to go back, look at their last 50 signings. I bet you, even though this is just a shot in the dark, I bet you maybe 10 of them were like, yeah, that was actually worth it.
I'll
That
do
to
you
me
one
has
better.
been their biggest problem.
I'll do you one better, Wes.
Kyle, did you have something prepared for this?
I went back 10 years,
Oh,
okay, of Manchester United sightings. And I came up with 1 or 2 names that you were say were a success. Okay? Now we're not going to count. Yeah, so we're not going to count this year with Kuna and Mbueno because obviously we don't know. So last year they have Lenny Yoro, Ugarte, Mathis
Should we start 10 years ago?
Oh, you know what? We're going to start 10 years ago.
Let's start 10 years ago.
Start
and
10
work
years
our
ago.
way up. Yeah.
Okay. So 15, 16.
And can we give a grade for the year
Yeah.
with how they
And
okay.
I'm not going to list because obviously there's loans and there's other, you know what I mean, guys. I'm just going to give you the big names from that window. Okay.
And let's do a quick A, B, C, D,
Yeah.
F. Bang it out.
Anthony Martial for 60 million. Okay, for Monaco. No. You had Memphis Depay. And
Love that guy.
Yeah, Memphis Depay liked him as a player.
Hate him.
Okay. No, he sucks. Next year, you have Paul Pogba for 105, Mkhitaryan for 42, and Eric Bailey.
Jeez, it's like
I mean,
you almost can't make it worse.
Okay, wait, I'm about to. Here we
I
go.
mean,
I love Pogba. Love Pogba. Mkhitaryan was worth 3 times as what Pogba gave United. Still love Pogba. I'm so excited to see him up.
Yeah, but then they let go of Mkhitaryan the next year.
And then ever since he left, he was an absolute stud everywhere else he went.
Yeah. So that's where I was like, you could almost, that one's on maybe close to the fence, but then you give him away to Arsenal next year and you swapped him for Alexis Sanchez, who after one day said he didn't want to be there anymore, and that didn't work out. So
Remember the
that
piano?
Ruined
Remember the
that
piano?
transfer.
Remember the piano announcement for
Oh, yeah.
Alexis Sanchez? Sanchez was supposed to go to City. He was supposed to follow Pep.
Yes.
Ruined
Romelu
his career.
Lukaku. Next year, we had Lukaku for 85.
La Caca.
Okay. Nemanja Matic. Okay. Lindelof.
Oh
and
my
Alexis
god!
Sanchez.
Like that Matic. They've gotten Casemiro, Matic, Schweinsteiger to
Mhm.
get these people that are so old or clunky or immobile. Like I could
We're up-
almost not be a soccer fan and know that these guys should not be going to this club, and then on top of it, getting 300 a week.
Well, hold on, though. Matic was a Mourinho guy. And the way Mourinho played, Matic, he's a great midfielder for him.
They also let go of
When he was on
Zlatan
Chelsea.
that year. Zlatan
Who?
left that year, so that doesn't make it a 17-18 a good year. Okay. Now you're at the 18-19. Fred for 60. Dallo. That's it for that year. That's all they
Fred
did.
was
Dallow's
60
good.
million.
We're at one.
Fred was 60 million.
Yeah.
So we're at one. Out of all those names, we're at one so far.
Okay.
Dallo, Nikos,
Fred
you
and
and I
what?
agree on that.
2019,
I saw
That was
Dallo play.
18-19.
60 million for Fred.
Yeah. Now we're going to 19-20. Harry Maguire for 87.
Harry Maguire.
Bruno Fernandes for 65. I'll give him Bruno. I'm giving him Bruno. Juan Bissaka, no. Daniel James, no. And
My God.
okay, now we get up
Should've
to
stayed the lead.
2020, 2021. Donny van de Beek for 40 million. Nope.
Oh my
And the
God.
back.
And then they had Diallo for 21 million. You can give that one a niffy. That's you can give
I'm
it a
going
niffy. You
3
can give
there.
him a 3. Okay. 21-22. Sancho, Varane, Ronaldo back again. None of those.
Varane?
Yeah.
Rafael Varane?
Yeah.
No.
No.
If
He literally came
I-
from a back line at Real Madrid.
Okay, hold on. If he stayed healthy, it would have been good. But
Yeah,
he
Manchester
didn't.
United players have a tendency to not stay healthy when they go to Manchester United. So I
Also,
agree. Varane,
He
not
was
good.
beyond his prime. He was so beyond his prime.
If Varane went somewhere after and made a name for himself, I'd be like, okay, yeah, like maybe. But I think he went to like a second league Italian team or like a lower league
Did
Italian
he go to
team.
Como?
I think so. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think at that time it really was. I think he was past his prime at that point, and unfortunately, the injury, everything kind of just got wasted at United. So
And
I don't
Ronaldo put an awkward blip on his resume going back there for a season or two.
He was the best player when he was there.
You want to know what's
Ronaldo
crazy?
was hands down the best player at United when he was
And
there.
he wasn't even good by his standards.
Yeah.
No, he was good. He just like any time that he would create a goal for someone else, they'd fucking bottle it. It's like watching Arsenal in a title race.
Honestly, I was just about to say, if Ronaldo went to Arsenal that year, they might have actually won the title.
Well, he almost went to
No.
Manchester City.
He
That
should
was
have.
Way too
that
selfish.
was crazy. I remember
was
that.
People
crazy.
forget
Way
that.
too selfish.
It was
People
like
forget
the day.
that Fergie called Ronaldo and said, "Please don't go to Manchester City. Go back to United," and he did.
Yeah.
Didn't we get a Here We Go?
We did get a here
We
we
got
go.
a here we go on Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah.
We
So
could have
who
had a
was-
chance
who
to
was
see
next
Ronaldo and Messi at Manchester City. That would have been crazy.
All right, so now we're
Well,
going
they
to
didn't. They didn't strike their new oil field in the Caspian Sea. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay.
Right. That's exactly what it was, Wes. You're right.
2022, 2023. I don't know who was in charge this summer. They need to be fired into the sun. Anthony for 95. 95. Okay.
What a joke!
Casemiro for 71.
What a
Okay.
joke, dude!
Lissandro Martinez for 60.
The butcher.
Okay. Okay. That's that summer. Then they said, you know
The
what?
butcher.
Last year wasn't good. So you know what we're going to do in 2023, 2024? We're going to go to Rasmus Højlund for 78. Or then
They
Now,
paid him
listen.
78.
Yeah.
They paid him 78.
All right, pause.
78.
Oh
Pause.
my
Pause.
goodness!
Pause.
This is worse than I could have
Nikos.
imagined. Sorry.
The best thing that Højlund has ever brought to Man U was his gladiator celebration. Was the coldest thing ever. That's the only good thing he's ever brought Man U. There's nothing else, honestly, but that celly was sick.
He's only done it like 4 times.
I think twice, not gonna lie. I think it was only 2. He did it like the day the movie released.
78 million, dude.
Yeah, but that's like
78 million.
yeah, but that clip went viral. It was so cool.
You got to remember, Manchester City had just bought Erling Haaland the year before, and United thought they were buying Haaland. They just mixed up the translation, and they got Højlund instead.
You also did. After then they did that. They said, you know what? I got an idea. Mason Mount for 68. Okay, which I know Nikos.
And people laugh at us for buying Chelsea junk.
Okay, that was not good. And then they said, you know what? We need.
So wait a second. We just got a striker. We need another one. We need Xerxes.
Then they said, wait. We also need a goalkeeper. We need a goalkeeper. Let's get Onana for 50.
Who had one good game in the? Oh my goodness, this is.
And then this takes us to last summer where they did Euro, Ugarte, Delit, and Xerxes.
I think Xerxes was 40.
I say Euro is a maybe. Right
Euro
now.
was 62. I give him. He was too young
Euro
to kind of judge.
He did absolutely.
What I mean?
I do think he was actually the sole reason that they lost against Tottenham in the the Europa.
He was.
So that is unfortunate, but I think he's young. I think
he's also young. Yeah.
We'll give it a year. A year from now, we could have the same conversation and be like, okay, bust.
I think you got to give him more than that. I think you give him 2 or 3.
That's 10 years.
He's young.
That's 10 years of transfers, and we came up with 4.
3.
There's 11 people. There's 11 people playing at a time. Okay, we came up with 4 that worked out.
Yeah,
that is so terrible.
Terrible.
It is maddening as a guy who hates that club through his skin to the other side of my body. And it makes me mad that they are so terrible at running a club and doing transfer business.
And it's not even like they didn't spend money. You're talking 250, 210.
It's a waste.
250.
And then what you should have done is go through
year, 240. Like
they paid most of those people a lot of money a week.
Yes. They not
I
only
think
do
Ronaldo
that,
was what, 500 a week?
Rashford designed like 400.
Rashford's gone.
Casemiro,
and you know what I mean?
3 or 350.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a Jey Uso. Ruben. Sorry, Nikos. What were you going to say?
I don't know. Where are we going with Jey Uso?
I was going a little Jey Uso. Run it back. Run it back. Does that mean Ruben's the guy? Is Ruben the guy?
His record, I looked it up. His record at United is 17 wins, 17 losses, and 8 draws.
But okay, so here's where I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. We just went through their transfers for the last 10 years. 3, maybe 4, potentially 5 have been good transfers. Is that on Ruben? Ruben came halfway through last season. I think if United actually want to do it, and by do it I mean get back to where they were, which is battling for the title every season, you have to let the manager implement his system, get the guys that fit his system, and to go play. And United don't like to do that because they expect a manager to come in day one and win. And it seems like maybe this time around they're looking at it and saying, well, we're not even like giving meals to our backroom staff anymore, which is something that they've done for a very long time. They're trying to cut any penny that they can. I don't think they fire a manager. So they're actually going to let it happen. They're going to slowly do this rebuild process. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to be stuck mid-table for a couple of years.
I think if this is the first time that they've had a few transfers where I'm like, okay, they're starting to stack up some players. I think if the current players that they do have perform as they should, then we're like, okay, now we got a bit of a competent team. My issue is that with the manager is that with the players that he came in saying nobody's safe, no one's bigger than this team. I will bench who I want to bench, and if you ain't part of the system, then you're out. Now, how much success are we going to see from all of the people that he let go, and how much is that going to fall on him? Rashford. If Rashford goes and absolutely reignites his career, which we saw a little bit at Aston Villa, we saw Anthony go and absolutely crush it in a different league.
Yeah.
If Garnacho leaves and absolutely lights it up somewhere, how much of this is on Ruben and him, you didn't fit in my system or like whatever. Like you had quality players maybe right there and it's just not showing. Like I think they did Rashford dirty. I think they kind of forced him out. I think they did Anthony dirty. I think they did a lot of players dirty. And I think
They don't know how to run a club. They
Yep.
don't know how to run a club.
So
Period.
I would hope,
And not to mention, like, again, like I am almost mad at the club, even though I'm not a fan. Like it is so gross how they run the club. They not getting in Champions League or any European competition, completing where they were from last year. They are going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars on like TV space and sponsorship. Like there's probably deals that we don't know about that like fall through because they're not in European competition now. Like
Their Adidas deal, they lost like some stupid amount of money because they're not in any European competitions.
I think they're one center back away from being back on the rise. One center back away from being back on the rise. Because,
but with Embuemo just as like your one guy up top who's
Cunha,
confident?
we have Embuemo, we have Cunha, we got Bruno, who I think now he maybe has a little bit of more wiggle room to distribute because everything was on Bruno. So now are we going to see Bruno be able to create, which is what he's supposed to do, rather than being creator, executor, like everything. Like he had to do everything on that team because guess who wasn't producing? His strikers. I feel like now we have threats up top, and I'm saying we as if I'm a Man U fan. I don't claim that negative energy, but I just feel like they have threats now on offense. They have somebody to distribute for them. I think they just get one competent center back there to kind of like hold the. And I honestly don't think they need somebody that's like the up and coming, like young new guy. They need a veteran in there.
What did Chelsea do? Nikos, what did Chelsea do? They brought back
Thiago Silva.
They brought back Thiago Silva.
Oh, Thiago Silva. And we won a Champions League.
That's what United needs. That's what they need.
Yeah. And I think that they have a young team. They have a lot of young defenders. Euro. You need somebody to complement Euro. Dorgu. You need somebody to come in mentality-wise to be like, listen, I may be 20 years older than all of you guys, but I'm class on grass. I don't care what anyone says. I am Thiago Silva. I might not be the fastest or youngest player, but I will out-defend everyone on this field. You need a veteran defender in there.
So name a veteran defender that would even be an option for him. I don't like that. That's like I don't
Someone
disagree.
who's an option for
but
him,
it's
I
like
would have said you. Okay, United should have gone and gotten Mats Hummels before he went to Roma.
Mhm.
That's what they should have done.
but
2020
now they're in a
hindsight, but
pickle. And now you can't convince a great veteran to go not play Europe.
yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Oh,
You're Manchester United, Wes. You're Manchester United. You can convince someone, hey, bring us back to the top four. Stay for that season.
Especially you're
You
catching
can
somebody at the
convince someone of
end of
that.
their career. Like you're like, listen, I know you're playing in Saudi, but do you want another chance to resurge your career and play for Man U? Somebody's gonna
They
jump on
could have.
that.
They could have made someone like Aymeric Laporte the ultimate villain. Aymeric Laporte came to Manchester City, won almost everything. He did not win the Champions League. He won almost everything, but that's a composed left-footed center back who got his bag in Saudi, and now he's going back to Bilbao. And I'm super happy for him because that's awesome. But you could have done something like that.
You know, if DeLitt is healthy, he is a good defender, and I think he could be that somewhat veteran-y center back if he's healthy. We got what? I can't stop saying we got 5 games out of him or something where he was healthy, and because trust me, I had him on fantasy. It was just like one good game, he gets a goal, crazy, and then he's out for 6. One good game, out for 3.
But
One good.
he's a young Harry Maguire.
Yeah, here's the problem. Okay. If you put whoever you want to name at center back, if they get around them, you know who they're shooting on? There's Onana.
Oh, nah. What's my name?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
nah.
here's the thing. I agree that they're maybe not more than a few players away from being able to get into that top half, get into that top 6, 7, 8 race of trying to sneak into some European spot. But they are far away because they don't have a striker. Hey, we got better wingers and we got Kuna and Mbappe. Oh, great, that's
Well, I mean,
fantastic.
until they
But-
get Jokeris.
But you still need a striker.
True.
You still need
We can
somebody to
certainly
back up
dream.
Bruno because Bruno's getting up there in age, and how much longer does he have? How many more seasons of great Bruno are you going to get? Their midfield is trash. Their goalkeeper is horrible.
Although, hold on, Fat Carlos is no longer Fat Carlos.
Yeah,
Fat Carlos looks cut.
And
Fat Carlos is in shape.
He finally got into shape after 4 years in Manchester. He finally figured out which food to eat, which food to not. But here's
might
the
make it
I'm
for
going to
Christmas.
Nando's.
Here's what I see as the problem. When it came to Eric Ten Hag, what they did is what JP said. They did the opposite. Hey, oh no, we usually get rid of somebody who we're not really sure on and isn't really doing enough. And do we really like the way he plays? I'm not really sure. They kept him too long. They should have got rid of him before last season. They should have got Ruben in and had Ruben give him the summer of last year. Let him have a year to get his players in instead of coming in mid-season. Because Ten Hag, he played 9 games his last season coaching United. 3 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses. Really not a bad start. Ruben went 7 wins, 6 draws, and 14 losses. So now you're giving this guy a summer. And this is now, I feel like they're going to now go back. Do they give this dude more time? Do they cut it too short? It doesn't. Nobody left last year. Like, people left last year with Chelsea's new manager. Like, hey, you know what? It took them up a step. We saw the way that they were going to play. They had a vision, and they're playing a certain way.
That Guardiola coaching tree, man. Unbelievable. You know where United went wrong? You know where they went wrong? They got rid of Mourinho. They should have never gotten rid of Jose. They should have never gotten rid of the special one.
True.
He should still be at Manchester United. And if that were the case, Manchester United would have secured top 4.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Multiple times. It's anti-football, and I hate it.
I think
But
Amarone
he's a special one.
stays if they have a terrible start to the season. I think he is in jeopardy early. But I think as long as they make Europe, even Conference League, I think it justifies him to be like, look, I didn't have even a transfer window where we were in Europe. So how do you want me to get players that we should have? So I think as long as they're in whatever it takes to get to Conference League, 7th or 8th, you could ask Chelsea. They did it last year. You basically just have to hope that they make Europa or make Europe if you want him to stay.
I think they finish 8 to 10. I don't think they even get up that high.
And I have
Like,
to ask a question. Like
I think there's going to be a lot of room.
Ruben's a very green manager, right? Like he's young. He's a young manager. He hasn't been managing for a long time. I was playing with him in FIFA.
yeah, I mean, he's literally
He was in
only
my
been
ultimate team at one point.
he's only been at Sporting. He had one
Ruben's young.
season of Braga, but other than
So
Oh,
that,
I
when
thought
you
you meant you like played online with him.
no, like he was in my ultimate team. So like this is a guy who went from playing directly into coaching, quickly climbed the coaching ranks, became a manager. At one point, he was managing, right? Like he didn't even have his certification to be the manager, and he was managing the team under someone else. Like this is a guy who's just he's I mean, he's out of the frying pan into the fire. So when you sign someone like that, how much like you do have to give them some leeway, right?
like Arteta, you got to give him a few years to figure out that he can sub off Saka. It's taken him
Right? So
5 years to
when you
realize he
sign
can do
him,
that.
exactly. So when you sign him, you have to be going into it thinking we are giving this guy this much time
Yeah,
at
he's got.
least,
Yeah, you have to go in. He's got
unless
3
we get
years.
relegated, right? Because like if you're signing someone like that who's young, because he's what 40, 45, he's somewhere in that range.
He's 40.
That's he's 40. There you go. So that's someone that when you sign him, you're thinking this is a guy that we're bringing on and we're going to give him time to grow because we think he's going to grow into something special. So there's got to be leeway. Unless you're relegated. If you're relegated, he's gone, but
The problem with getting a young manager like that is you kind of have to see how somebody goes through adversity. How does somebody do when things are horrible? You know, not everything is going to be fantastic all the time. Like, you know, he went to Sporting, won the league, then he finished second, then he finished fourth, then he finished first, and then even his halfway through the season, he played 11 matches, won 11 matches, drew 0, lost 0, and then went to United and lost 14, more than he's ever lost before. It's like in the NFL, like the Alabama kids that come out when Alabama was like not losing a match all of college. And then they come out and you're like, oh, what do you mean? They lost the first 5 games and they're giving up on their team? It's like, well, yeah, they didn't lose in 4 years of college. You don't get to know who they are as a player if you don't see them lose. You know, he didn't play in a difficult league where he was going up against juggernauts. It's like,
he smoked us though. Ruben Sporting smoked Manchester City, and it was at the low point of our season, but they were running circles around us. So I think they have to be going into that thinking this guy's getting a few years.
but
So,
how bad are they going to be before they let him go?
It depends on how bad they think their club is. Depends on how bad they think.
If they think they should be.
Because we just went through it, and we said in the last 10 years, 3, maybe 4, potentially 5 good signings.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sorry, but Sir Jim Ratcliffe isn't sitting here saying, "Oh no, 15 of those were great signings." He's sitting here saying 2 of them were good signings.
so let me run a scenario by you because I know we briefly just spoke about maybe where they could finish if they had a decent season. Again, I think if I'm a fan of theirs, I'm just hoping we get Europe. I'll even take the Conference League because it's progress. But the table finished from 5th to 10th. You had Newcastle, Villa, Forest, Brighton, Bournemouth in ninth, Brentford in 10th. I think Brentford are going to be worse. Nottingham Forest are going to be worse. I think Newcastle could be worse. I know they got Alenga, but if Isak goes, Villa's kind of up in the air. Brighton, I don't think are going to be doing better than eighth. My point being is you could almost take 6 through 10 and be like, they're just not going to be in the top 10. And if you go to 11 and 12, you have Fulham and Palace. Palace, if they lose Eze, they're not going to be better. Fulham have been kind of flat. I don't think they've done anything crazy, but I see there being an easy path. I mean, you throw Tottenham, who I think are going to be definitely fighting for Conference League or Europa next year, but I don't know.
I
I'm actually bullish on them being like easily top 8, top 9, unless they really are a calamity once again.
I think they come out 1-5 and he gets sacked.
ooh.
I'm looking at their schedule right now. I mean, they start against Arsenal. In a perfect world, they win.
It is at Old Trafford. It is at Old Trafford.
But Man U versus Arsenal first week, I mean, they might get clapped. I mean, surprise. It would be a surprise if they come out and beat Arsenal. Then they got Fulham, Fulham likes to perform. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Fulham likes to come in and
Is that
shock.
away or home? Is that at the Cottage?
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah. Then they
And then
have
who's third and fourth?
so first two games are so then that's where they get their first win, because their first win is going to be against Burnley, because they go to Burnley, and I don't think Burnley's going to be that strong. I think they're going to be a team that's going to be beatable. Then they have Man City. Then
Dead.
they have Chelsea.
Dead.
Then they have Brentford. So by the time they get to Brentford, I'm saying 1-4, 1-5. Anderham's got to be out, because you can't start that low. And I just don't.
The other thing I wanted to go through is what Wes was saying about the league.
They're fucked.
Last year, they scored 44 goals and gave up 54. Okay? They scored 44. Hold on to that number.
God.
Newcastle, 68. Aston Villa, 58. Forest, 58. Brighton, 66. Brentford, 66. Bournemouth, 58. Fulham, 54. Palace, 51. Everton, 42. Okay? So they don't score enough, and they give up too many. They gave up 54 goals.
Ooh. How many goals did Tottenham score?
Tottenham scored 64. 10 more
That's
than them.
crazy. That's crazy.
Okay? And they gave up 4 less.
Wait. Tottenham scored 64 and United scored 44?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Okay?
That's
so
crazy.
this is where I agree with you, Wes. There's some room, but if all these teams scored roughly 60 goals, you got 68, 58, 58, 66, 58, 65, 54, 51 is Palace at 12th place.
They're
all
16
roughly
behind.
Okay, that's 60 goals. Okay, so that's the threshold you're roughly going to need to get yourself in that 8 to 12 range, 6 to 12 range. They got to score 20 more goals. That's not happening.
That's crazy.
That's not happening. And they gave up 54 goals, which is, more. It's Everton only gave up 44 goals. That's 10
Also,
more than Everton.
I do want to
And they're doing nothing about their defense.
I want to add something that I don't think anyone has talked about yet, that I thought about the other day. And Mbeumo going to Man U is a big deal. That's awesome. How successful is he going to be without Wissa?
Yes.
Wissa was unbelievable. Like, I almost think he was better than Mbeumo. And I think that he deserves a lot more credit, because Wissa killed last year. How many goals did he set up for him? A lot. How many times did Wissa come out of nowhere and compliment him? So how is he going to perform those two? I think those two were a phenomenal package. How is he going to perform without him? I think.
Also the manager.
Yeah.
Brentford manager, that dude is good.
Wasn't
he
Frank?
Also, yeah, Thomas
And
Frank
now
at
he's at
Brentford.
Now he's at
He's
Tottenham.
at Spurs. Yeah, and he also loves Arsenal, which is quite funny that he's there. He actually mentioned Arsenal in his first press conference as Spurs manager.
Shut the
funny.
fuck up.
No, he really does. It's quite funny.
He has always loved Arsenal.
No,
I think
he really has.
Wants
Like,
to manage them.
He every time we play them, all he does is like gasses up.
Yep.
Yeah, they play the right way. Like, just like stupid comments that are like not needed. Like, go.
Oh, is that your guys' Arteta replacement, Thomas Frank?
No.
There were a lot of people wanted that. All the Arteta out people on Twitter, that's who they wanted. But so Brentford had a great manager, and now Mbeumo is obviously not getting that. You know what I mean? The manager level that he's under has now gone down. You know what I mean? Like Spurs now getting a competent manager who doesn't just say, "Hey, everybody just sit at the halfway line. We're not going to play the other half of the field. We're going to play half court." They got rid of that dude. Okay?
But I don't even want to agree with that because like I think United brought Ruben in because they saw the system and said we want this system, and they know they have dog shit players, and they know they don't have players that fit the system. So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of leeway for him, and I think when Ruben has the Manchester United pocketbook in checkbook, and not the Sporting pocketbook in checkbook, I think Manchester United, if they stick with Ruben, I think they end up pretty good. I think they're going to be pretty good,
I agree
but
with you.
it's going to take time.
If they stick with him in 3 years, two years from now, 3 seasons in for him, 3 full seasons. Now I think he can start doing something, but I don't think they wait that long. And I agree with you. I think if you were to give Ruben this City team, like if Pep retired tomorrow, okay, and Ruben went there, I think he'd be able to do something with that team. I don't think he's a horrible
He'd
manager.
do something with it, but I still don't think they fit his system
Yeah,
the way they play.
I just.
So I can't believe that I'm going to do this, but I'm actually going to give a silver lining to Manchester United fans.
Nikos, you're going to
I'm
give me
not-
an epileptic seizure over there.
And I don't mean this as sarcasm either, but since they have so many fewer games to play next year, best bet is somehow this team begins to gel and people don't get hurt because they have like 15 less games in their schedule
I'm with you.
minimum. So that's probably a best case, and I'm praying that somehow Amarone is the guy and that he can just make it gel. I think that's your most optimistic bet. And again, if I'm a Man U fan right now, give me any Europe to play in the following season, and I will be a happy fan. So good luck.
I think
agree.
realistically, any climb is good. When you're as low as 15, you finish.
Yeah.
You finish 8 and 9.
I
You're like,
think
okay, we
I
see.
think they have to be top 9, otherwise it's not progress. You can't go from like 15th to 12th.
You have to be first,
As
top of the table, like top side, top half.
You want to know
of
what's
the table.
crazy? Wolves scored 10 more goals than United.
Yeah.
and they were awful.
So they got the goal
the
scorer.
first
So they
half
bought
of
the
the
goal
season.
scorer.
Yeah, and they got their top goal scorer.
That's how they run their transfer business.
So maybe we should wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up here.
We're gonna wrap it up just like City did with their Champions League journey last year, real early. So you all have a great night, and we'll see.
That
you in
was
the
a
next
wonderful
episode.
attempt, Wes. That was a great attempt. Good job. Nice try.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Wes, don't say anything else. Don't say anything else.
Chance that
Don't say anything
Joker
else.
has come
Don't
Fuck you,
by
Wes.
next week.
Don't say anything else.